You are all very warmly welcome to this event organized by the Swedish-Polish Chamber of Commerce together with a group of distinguished event partners. I have an announcement to make to start with about the program. One of our speakers, Królikowski, was not able to make it today. We will invite him to another seminar. He represents a great company with great technology, so there is a lot to look forward to at another event. We have a colleague of Thomas, however, with us, so he will represent Fringage, the company, and tell you all about the technology during the break, the networking session. Very warmly welcome, and you are kind of a stand-in. So if anybody wants to make contact with Andreas from Fringage, please do it during the networking session. Please do it on LinkedIn. Anyway, my name is Jerry Ralowski, and I'm a bit schizophrenic. So from time to time, I call myself Jurek Rawowski. Do dyspozycji, bardzo mi miło, kłaniam się. I was kind of hoping that, the Poles here would applaud. And I was completely right. So why have we gathered here to discuss retail and e-commerce? This is obviously a very vibrant sector in both countries that the Chamber focuses on, in Sweden and Poland. And we are a very member-oriented organization. We have a lot of members operating in e-commerce and retail. And we are very eager to show the capabilities of our members. So actually, the main reason for this event is that we will present to you a lot of our member firms, and they will tell us about what is coming in this sector, which is changing very, very rapidly. Those of you who operate in the sector really need to adapt, and our speakers and panelists will help us to do it. Another person who will help us to do it is our moderator. Warmly welcome, Aleksandra Gromnicka. Maybe you will present yourself.
Of course.
So now I just, hand over the microphone to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Aleksandra Gromnicka, Business Development Manager at the Polish Investment and Trade Agency here in Stockholm. And I have a pleasure to be moderating today's session on retail and e-commerce, new habits, new opportunities, brought to us by Swedish-Polish Chambers of Commerce. In this fast-changing retail world, knowing new customer behaviors and technological innovations is vital. So let's dive in. To start things off, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our first keynote speaker for today, Yvonne Magnusson, former CEO of Indiska and Cervera. Yvonne will be speaking on omnichannel connected retail in the era of data. Please join me in welcoming Yvonne.
Thank you. Nice to be here. My name is Yvonne Magnusson Norling, and I have 30 years of working experience in retail and fast-moving consumer goods. I worked both in international and local companies, and the last 18 years in the role as CEO. I have mainly built my competences around turnarounds, digitalization, change management, and also working with different business modeling as part of it. Because this is the retail landscape that I have been operating in for so many years now. And we are actually in an era of transformation still. So it's really important to understand that when you see the presentation here for all the companies, they're all tech companies. This is the world that we live in when you operate in retail today. And I hope to inspire you today in accelerating your business faster with my experiences. So this is the retail landscape, the competitive landscape that we operate in. And as you can see, it's not only about your own channels. I must ask a question. The ones that are online, do they see me? How can I move? So that they don't lose me. Okay. You follow with the camera. Good. Just a technical. But it's not only about your own channels today. And we have to understand where our customers spend their time, because this is what it looks like today. And we also continuously live in a changing environment in terms of new players entering the market. Now in Swedish media, you can see all the debate going on around Shein and Temu, for example. But this is the reality of our world that we operate in. And this also creates new expectations from our customers. And therefore, it's challenging being a CEO and managers within retail today, because we are working towards a moving target. And we have to be on top of this. And therefore also we have to ensure that we continuously are relevant towards our customers in this landscape, and therefore also challenge our operating model continuously. So today, the customers operate in a connected environment. In 2030, there will be 50 billion connected devices in the world. 50 billion. And what does that mean to our business and to our customers' behavior? What she expects of us working in retail is that we are relevant to her in this environment, that we are connected and make it easy for her to make shopping decisions. And also that we have a shopping experience that is relevant to her. So how do we succeed in this landscape? And that is to truly, truly understand the customer journey. And I have operated many different retail companies, and I haven't been in one that we truly could say that we really understand the customer journey. So there is still a lot of work to do there. And we also have to understand that it's no longer about pushing merchandise. It's actually about being relevant in terms of the demands that our customer have on us and what their needs are. So how do we do this? Well, we have to collect data. So we have to really, truly use the data. We have a lot of data, but do we have the relevant data? And when we understand this data, we can also really build a relevant customer experience and enhance our businesses and create a connected experience. And working as a CEO, the big challenge also when it comes to making sure that your organization has the ability to really make things happen, you have to look into your structure. So when we talk about data and how you're organized today, there are three elements or three different areas. There are many, but I would enhance three different areas. And firstly, look at your processes, because is your data enabled to flow through your processes in a way that is truly customer-centric? And that also is efficient. Because today retailers, there are many retailers struggling with their finances. So this is a key to succeed in your finances. When you have done that and find your gaps and build the actions to close them, you also have to look into how you are structured around it. I mean, the organizational structure, because it's also in your management team, with your management team, important that you create the ability for your organization to execute. And we are still very traditional in the way that we operate in our structures. We normally have a functional structure, and a functional structure creates silos. So if we don't break this down, we will never be able to enhance our processes in the right way. So what I do when I look into the organizational part is see how can we empower the organization in the way we are structured. And there are really good ways of doing that and create more process-lined organizational structure. Thirdly, your IT architecture. There are many technical platforms, many applications that you can look at, but they have to be relevant for what you want to achieve. And of course, now there is a lot of tech people in this room, but from the strategic point of view, you have to look at the applications that supports your business model and also your customer proposition. Because it's all about, you can use the IT, the technology and the technical platforms to truly be efficient and also increase your finances. Right? So analyze your gaps and ensure that you have actions to close them. And talking about technology, it's also a lot about innovation today. This digital shift, it demands an understanding and overlook of your technical platforms and your ability also to innovate in this. So starting with, there are 3 areas to address here. The customer, your culture / your people, and the structure. And now we have talked a little about the structure operations. So finalizing that, it's all about having the right merchandise at the right place, at the right time, at the right price, of course. Very easy. So what you have to do is analyze where your gaps are in the processes and ensure you close them through developing solid processes and a way of working. Then, of course, you will hear a little about it later on, about payment solutions. And if you operate in more than one market, this is really important to understand from a customer point of view what the local demands are. And that also goes for the logistics part, because this can really differ from country to country. And also an area that I want to stress here is also in this competitive landscape that we operate in, really truly challenge your supply chain when you talk about product development. Today, it has to be faster and moving faster than 6 to 12 months from product development until it's hitting the market and your customers. That's not feasible anymore. So you need to work around that. And I will give you some examples also of companies that are good at creating these experiences. Going back to the customer, the reason why we operate, focus on technologies that makes it easy for the customer to make their choice. There are so many different ways of working today and different technologies to choose from, but it's very simple. You want to create the excellent customer experience, and you want to make it easy for the customer to make their choice. Keep it that simple, then you will succeed. And find the right technical applications that supports that. I also want to stress the culture, because in a seamless shopping experience, the culture needs to adapt as well. And this goes to all departments, not only the ones that are working, like the e-com department or the staff in store. And we have to understand that the selling process today is different. It's not about, again, pushing merchandise, but about serving your customer in a different way. And also, as I've been in the business for so long, I come from the offline business and I moved into the online business or the digital world. And we have to also embrace that the physical world is different, and the people that work in this world also have to have the right tools so they can support the customers in the right way. So we have to ensure that when we implement new features, it has to work all the way. Again, look in your processes to make that happen. And when it comes to culture also today, in recruitment, we talk about AQ, not only IQ, EQ, but also AQ. And AQ means that we also have to have the right people in place that also are agile in their mindset and are adaptive to change, because that's the world we live in today. And lastly, coming to culture, we also have to empower our culture and our people in the organization so that we also are truly innovative. So all of these areas represent different technical solutions that you need to define and enhance, so you optimize your profitability and your customer experience. This is, I will give you some examples. This is Zara. This is a store I visited in Cartagena in Spain last spring. And I think that Zara is a good example of omnichannel approach. They just let go of their financial report, and they are really successful. They managed to grow a growth of 7%, and they have a 10% higher gross margin than their biggest competitor. That is very known to us Swedes, no mention who. But I think what they do well is they have embraced the technical development and made it a competitive advantage. And they have several platforms. They work online, offline. They have mobile app, and it's all very dynamically integrated. And looking at their in-store experience, it's seamless. Also here you can see this is their new concept that they are launching. They just launched it recently. I think what they have done is an attractive design. It's very modern. They have created clear destinations, and they have also taken all the technology into the store in a very nice way. They also have a variety of products and makes it very easy for me to choose my style. And of course, they have all of the technical, what you in an omnichannel approach that you expect in terms of ordering online, pick up in store, purchase in store, have it delivered to home. They have the in-store mode in their app. They also have a very nice approach when it comes to the personnel. So regarding the personnel in store, they are serving their customers and not selling. It's a big difference here. And they use a mobile device in a very nicely way. They can help you find the right size, the garments, guide you to purchase in different ways, which is very nice. But what was new in this store that I haven't seen before in any other Zara store was close to the fitting room. When I took the garments out for try, I just scanned them on the wall. I was assigned a fitting room. I tried the garments on, and the ones that I wanted to bring with me home, I just scanned and I could pay in my mobile app. That was excellent. So I didn't even have to go to the cashier in this store. This is another example, Sephora. And I think what's nice with Sephora is that I have worked with the makeup industry or personal care industry. And what they did was they innovated the customer experience by letting you actually try the makeup on in store. And that built their success story. And what they have done now is they've taken that online with a virtual artist. So you can actually, in the app, try the makeup on and find the right color for you. So what what they've very nicely done is they have taken the offline experience online and made it seamless. So you have the same experience regardless where you shop. As a Swede, I have to mention IKEA. And I think the best thing about visiting an IKEA store is actually the display rooms, where you can see the furniture in the room and give you a lot of inspiration. What IKEA has done now is they have launched the Place feature app in the catalog app. So you can actually, in your mobile app, see the furniture in your own home, and from there make the decision to shop. So they also have managed to take their competitive advantage online and make it seamless. I also want to mention two things about IKEA. One is how they have also challenged their business model by taking successful product categories like kitchen and wardrobe and made it a destination by itself in their showrooms. And now they also recently launched their marketplace for the reselling market. So what they nicely do is close their gap in terms of their ecosystem. My last slide. So just to summarize now what I have talked about is to transform your retail business, you have to become truly customer-centric and integrated. And then I want to send with you these three pillars. Of course, to start out with the customer proposition, reimagine the customer journey. That's really the starting point, and provide touch points across channels, both online and offline, and both inside and outside the store as well. And ensure that you're operating and really challenge your operating model in this. You have to rethink as a retailer management and your operations in terms of formats, space allocation, supply chain, delivery, payment methods, organization structures, processes, and so on. Really challenge yourself in this. And it's all about economics also. So in this changing world also, don't forget the retail economics, because in this changing landscape, you also need to redefine your how you measure your business, and so the measurements are also relevant to your new revenue streams. And as a leader working with change management, don't forget the culture. Today, change management has to be part of your HR strategy. And the successful retail companies, they have a culture that is truly customer-centric, data-driven, and agile, and also focus on innovation. So I'm very interested now in listening to your challenges and thoughts and experiences. So please stay in touch. Thank you. And thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Yvonne, for your comprehensive presentation. And next, we have Olga Nikrasova-Akolor, from Head of Market Development, UK and Europe at Zettel by PayPal, and here to discuss navigating the SMB retail revolution, unveiling trailblazing trends.
You introduced me well enough, so I will skip my name and title, and I will talk about the trends in retail and SMB from a slightly different perspective. So we talk about SMBs, and I think Yvonne talked about omnichannel presence from an enterprise perspective. So slightly different, and also from a payments perspective, since I work in payments. So I will cover some of the trends that we're currently seeing in the market from the merchants that we work with in the SMB space. But let me start by sharing the Zettel story, which is quite a good one. We create modern point-of-sale systems, so taking card payments, and this is designed to simplify the daily operations of SMBs and retailers. And our solutions allow businesses to take payments and track every sale all in one place. And the company slogan has been on a mission to help small businesses succeed in a world of giants. And this has been our motto since the very early days and the launch of the company 14 years ago. And as Yvonne just mentioned, it's all about omnipresence for in-store payments and online as well for SMBs, building systems from the start that truly meet the customers wherever they are. And contrary to the belief that the rise of digital diminished the need for physical in-store experiences, the demand for physical stores is actually growing. And according to the Wall Street Journal, 42% of all e-commerce transactions involved physical stores in 2023, and that is up from 27% in 2015. Originally known as iZettle, we launched the world's first mini-chip card reader back in 2011, and a software as well, enabling small businesses to accept payments easily and smoothly. And before this innovation, setting up a payment system was complex and costly. And our mobile card reader significantly lowered the barrier to entry for small retailers. And this breakthrough, along with the growth of e-commerce and also the trend towards supporting local businesses, empowered SMBs to start, manage, and expand their operations. And this not only increased the collective numbers of SMBs, but also boosted their collective market share and their revenue. And although the pandemic slowed down this growth, SMBs showed remarkable agility and innovation during this time compared to larger players in the retail space. And considered part of Sweden's tech innovation scene, Zettle was gearing up for an IPO back in 2018. But however, just days before the IPO, PayPal announced its acquisition of iZettle then for $2.2 billion, which was then considered PayPal's largest acquisition at the time, strengthening its position in the SMB market. And what about PayPal? PayPal has 25% of all global online transactions and 426 million active accounts worldwide, including 35 million merchant accounts. 45% of all active accounts are outside of the US, and in Sweden, PayPal has 1.7 million active accounts. This is our team in Stockholm. This is from our Global Impact Day, where we actually teamed up with local SMBs to give back to the community. And our office in Stockholm, with around 280 employees, is designated as the Center of Excellence for in-store payments. Alex Chris joined PayPal as CEO approximately 1 year ago and significantly increased the focus on SMBs once again. And focusing on SMBs makes sense because they constitute 90 to 99% of all businesses worldwide. And in the European Union, SMBs represent 99.8% of all businesses. And discussing trends for SMBs without mentioning AI would be a major oversight. And I know that many of us will touch on this today, as Yvonne did as well. And this summer, I read an interview in Dagens Industri with Larry Fink, which I thought was quite thought-provoking. And Fink stated, when it comes to AI, companies need to invest large sums to keep up with the development. And small businesses will not be able to afford the latest and greatest technology, leading to major social problems. And my view is that larger companies will take more market share and that they will be able to scale more. And I think he's both right and wrong. And we heard from Yvonne about big corporations like IKEA and Zara and Sephora using the latest technology, right? And AI comes with that. But while it's true that SMBs can develop AI at the same pace as the larger corporations, they still need to find the right partners or risk being outpaced. But this could happen to larger retailers as well. And why is AI such a game changer? Why is it crucial for companies to have the right amount of data and the right algorithms? Using PayPal as an example, having 25% of all global transactions enable us to have all of this knowledge and enormous capacity to help merchants make informed decisions, minimizing the guesswork. And I think Damian will speak on this a little bit more later, but this could mean a paradigm shift in marketing as well. And the industry often talks about value-added services, but we prefer the term personalization. And personalization for us is meeting the customer through the right communication channel at the right time with the right product. And I believe that this will foster better relationships between buyers and sellers, empowering merchants, but also creating stronger brand identities. And consumers agree. Nearly 75% of global shoppers expect better personalization in exchange for their personal data. Additionally, 70% of all US consumers would join a retailer's loyalty program in exchange for free shipping. And 72% of consumers are more likely to be loyal to a brand that offers stronger brand identity and personalized experiences. And this is just with today's technology. And while privacy concerns still are a key challenge, both consumers and merchants are eager for this evolution. Strong brand identity and omnipresence are key, seen as in successful examples like Cervera, where the founders left their jobs as vintage furniture buyers to curate unique pieces for their own store. And this thrives across all channels, including social media, which we see in many examples that we work with. And we've supported them in streamlining operations to achieve true omnipresence, boosting their significant presence online and in-store. Another example is Skoaktiebolaget. 6 months after founding their in-store, which we also see many of our merchants doing, they actually launched an e-commerce platform and quickly became a global sensation. And we played a role in this transformation as well by integrating their brick-and-mortar store with the Shopify e-commerce experience, which made them simplify their accounting, bookkeeping, and inventory management all in one place, removing obstacles and enabling seamless operations. And these behind-the-scenes enhancements may not be glamorous, but they are crucial for success of small and medium businesses. And this enables them to scale globally as well. And let's be honest, payments in shopping maybe isn't the most exciting part, right? But it's critical to have the overall experience. And leading with technology and constant innovation in payments is key as well. Much like the check, and we all know this, going to a restaurant and paying isn't the highlight of our meal, right? But we still need to pay it. And the payment process needs to be safe and secure. And we're nearly there. And as I mentioned before, security still remains a challenge. And analysts predict that businesses will lose $362 billion to fraud globally between the years of 23 and 28. That's just 5 years. Also, 2 out of 3 consumers regularly abandon their purchases due to obstacle with the payment process along the way. And that's on a $6 trillion annual market. Imagine the loss. And the key conflict is between convenience and safety. And to resolve this tension, innovation, as I mentioned, is key. And PayPal recently launched something that we call Fastlane, an online product for checkout that boosts conversion by 80% and minimizes the checkout time by 32%. And when it comes to smooth omnichannel payments in retail, we do have an exciting future ahead of us, maybe like the one that Sephora and IKEA and all of the major brands already launched. With the latest technology, we can simplify the life and the daily operations of SMBs and make them focus on what truly matters to them and the global economy, which is making their businesses thrive. My last slide. And to finish off, I know that Jerry said that we shouldn't focus on Poland today, but I do want to show that we've had a pretty strong connection to the country from a Zettel perspective as well. And ever since the launch of the company, our production facilities, manufacturing and warehouses have been located in Poland since we started. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Olga, for your enlightening talk. So next, our speaker is Zbigniew Królikowski, a senior ML engineer and team leader at VirtusLab.
Okay, thanks for the introduction, and also thanks, Olga, for mentioning the importance of personalization in e-commerce, because we'll be all going over that. Today we'll be going over a case study based on work we did for one of our clients. And let me start by mentioning who client is. The client is a worldwide retailer and the client runs a multi-million daily active user e-commerce platform. And the content viewed by the customers is personalized based on the past purchase histories. So this is the case with many e-commerce platforms. Obviously, everyone wants to use AI for this. The idea behind personalization is that it drives sales opportunities and boosts customer engagement. All right. So what was the problem? Like, we have it done, right? So the problem is that the current solution, which is based on batch data processing and offline model training, introduces a huge gap between when the user performs an action and when the results of that action have been factored into the model decisions. So whenever you're training the machine learning model, it takes it will probably not have the most recent information about the customer. So this could, for our clients, could be between days, a day or a week, depending on the model. So the idea is that we want to change that. We want to have a tighter feedback loop between customer actions and the machine learning model reflecting those the changes in the customer behavior. And we wanted to build this on top of an existing capability within the client's platform, which is a Kafka solution, which is a message streaming interface, right? So what we were trying to optimize, we're trying to optimize a metric called CTR, or click-through rate, which is a simple ratio of of number of events where customer sees a piece of content and when they interact with it. We've chosen this over other metrics like revenue per customer or revenue per basket because it's very easy to calculate on the fly, which is crucial for this solution. Okay, so a little bit about the data. So data is composed of many events that form a complete user journey. So what we had to do, we had to combine those events and filter them to build data points for the machine learning model. And then route them to specific models. The volume of this data was really quite a problem because just personalizing a single piece of content on the website or on the app would require consuming over 2,000 events per second to have a coverage for all customers. If you want to cover all placements on the website and on the web. On the web, the app, and maybe also in store in the future, you would have to process tens of thousands of events per second to have a complete coverage and achieve the biggest return on this investment. I will go into solution just in a moment, but let me go over some other requirements. So we have a strict SLA on the solution. So this is a service, has to be working as any other backend service. So it has to be online 100% of the time. Data can never be lost and is fully recoverable. And user identity needs to be hidden at all times. And also the model cannot take in any information that's not relevant to the customer. So we can't introduce any bias into the model behavior. So we have to treat our customers fairly just based on the sales history. And also the personalization is only delivered to logged in users. The tool of choice for this was Apache Flink, which is a stream processing software designed from ground up with a couple of assumptions. So it has strict correctness guarantees. It has layered APIs, meaning that it's viable for customers, the members of the team with different backgrounds, that being either data scientists, analysts, or software engineers. It's scalable. It has operational focus. It is highly performant, and also it integrates well with any popular database or a streaming system. So let me go into 3 concepts that are crucial to showing that stream processing software can cover the same use cases that you would have in a batch data processing system with minimal effort. So first of all, let's look at stateful processing. Stateful processing is a concept where you can process multiple events at a time. The multiple events in the case of e-commerce would be a complete user journey. So we can take in many accounts into our processing and create complete data points that are then suitable for machine learning. So this already makes it viable as a solution for a problem. Also, let's also discuss what's the difference between batch processing and stream processing. So for Apache Flink, there is none. Apache Flink is designed to handle both use cases. For Apache Flink, the only difference between batch and stream is the data source, and you can use exactly the same code to accommodate both use cases. This means that Apache Flink can cover existing use cases that you would have in your e-commerce platform. And also event time processing, meaning that the solution that we built, it can works the same respectively of the time when it was run, meaning that all the results are fully reproducible, they are fully consistent, and you always have correctness guarantees, meaning that you always end up with the same result, respective if you're backfilling, if you're running live. And this is great for quick development of this platform and also for resolving any production issues. Okay, so let's have a look at the finished solution. So this is a bit technical, but as you can see on the left side of the diagram, we have the Flink service, which takes in the user events and produces and takes in the whole user journeys, produces data points that then can be used as machine learning features by the online training service. Online training service is a service as any other. It takes in the data from Flink. And then what this online training service does, it updates the model policy, meaning that what decisions would the machine learning model do when faced with a situation. Situation meaning a customer being on a specific place on a page, and we have to make a decision. We have to determine what to show to the customer to have the biggest chance of engagement and drive sales. And so this is all happening in real time. You can configure it to be either run down in seconds or in minutes. So we've effectively reduced the feedback cycle between new customers coming in or changes in customer behavior to the machine learning model now being aware of this and adjusting its policy to those customers. So this is especially important for new customers, and also it changes in customer behavior when we have, like, for example, new products, or we've changed the pricing. So all of this will be reflected in real time. And let's go into the results. This is just one A/B test, one of the many A/B tests that we've run. And this solution has shown a 35% increase over the baseline in the CTR metric, meaning that the customers will be 35. Okay, it's I'll not go into the maths, but pretty much it means that the customer is 35% more likely to engage with the content shown on the page. And this means that compared to the existing solution, the difference is that this performance is maintained over time. And is because the model is trained continuously. And most importantly, this solution is agnostic to the placement, meaning that we build this platform, the e-commerce platform, in a way that allows for personalizing any piece of content on the web, on the app, and also in the future in the in-store use cases. And we are actually actively doing that for our client. Yeah, so this is the end. Hope I'm in time. Thanks for listening. As I've said, I know this is a bit technical, so I'll answer all the questions after the presentations. Thanks again.
Fantastic, Zbigniew. Thank you for this fascinating presentation. I have so many questions, but I hope I'm going to have time during the networking time. Next to the stage, please welcome Damian Mazurek, Chief Innovation Officer at Software Mind. He will discuss how AI impacts the retail market by enabling companies to personalize shopping processes and enhance consumer experience.
Let's start. So today we're gonna talk about the generative AI and its impact on the retail business. And why this is important? Because we are living in, let's call it, very different times than last generation, when the speed of the development of the technology is higher and higher. Every week, every month, we hear about something new. There are some, let's call it, different technology that came to the landscape of the AI. And there are some AI skeptics that say that this is the bubble and it's the end of the bubble right now. And there are AI optimists that say that, no, this is just the beginning of the bigger change. So how it's look like in the real life, we will see. But you need to remember one thing. So there's the good example is when I spoke with one of our customers and we started our cooperation at the beginning of the AI boom. And we designed a game that was using generative AI to create immersive world, autonomous NPCs that are able to act as a human almost. And the main concept was that this technology was too expensive, that the business case was not there because of it. And we make some forecasts. We make a forecast that in the future, in the next year, it will be 10 times cheaper. And it was 40 times cheaper. So we miscalculated a little bit. But what I'm saying, that we are at the beginning of the whole AI technology change. And this is what we see today is the day one technology. And it will advance. And we as the humanity right now, we are working on making this technology cheaper, faster, better, more sustainable. And because of this, we need to start thinking right now how to adopt this technology in our processes, in our companies, and in this case, in the retail market. Because retail market is the one of the best landscape to use this technology. And to do this, today, we need to be ready for the change that will be created by it. So where can we use this kind of the technology? Where can we implement the generative AI? So there's like many different areas. So starting from the recommendation system, as we spoke, and many different examples that are already existing on this market. But today I will talk about something that is just starting. And I will talk about one thing that I think is the strong future of this market. So let's start from these four categories. So at the beginning, at this moment, we are using the generative AI for personalized product design, descriptions. We are using it to create the commercials. We are using it to generate some kind of the content which is dynamically related to our products, to our services. And this is like the level one. Level two is creating something that I call shopping buddy and customer and sales support, where the AI will talk with us, will behave like a human, like a tutor, like a concierge that will help us to buy something, to find that something that is interesting for us. And the last one is the retail system for AI. And I will speak about it a little bit later. Okay, I will skip the part who we are, because I think that we are very often here, but maybe in one word. I'm from Software Mind. We are the global company that creates software, and not only it, we build the products for our customers based on the newest technology, like the AI in this case. And here, me and my friend Jacob, who is right there, we are representing our AI services in Nordics. Okay. But let's get back to our main topic. So let's start from the product design. And let's imagine that there are the many different sectors of the retail where at this moment we can use this technology not only to generate the product description, not only to generate the commercials, but also to generate the designs for a specific, let's call it, products. And here's the story of one of our customers that have innovative idea, because we know that the retail market is changing and they are somewhere before their IPO. And they have some idea, well, the investor has idea that they need to use the new technology to increase the value of the company and the value of what they are doing. So they figure out maybe we can use the AI to create the design patterns, because the main business goal of this company is to generate the designs and then create a product and sell it. So, for example, you have a specific design, you can order wallpaper, pillow, or anything else with this design. And they will manufacture it, they will send it to you, and they will ship it to you. So, well, this is like maybe not exactly retail, but something very close. So they want to create something that will be able to generate the patterns, but not only generate the patterns, but to learn from the users what patterns and what designs are the best for them, which are the best sellers, and then, based on this, create a feedback loop to their ideas generator to make stronger the best designs and weaker those that are not so great. And based on it, create the hyper-personalization on the product design level for a specific user from a specific region in the specific scope of the time. Because, for example, where there are Christmas, then other designs are top sellers than, for example, in holidays or in winter, etc. So they want to build the system that will be able to learn the specific behavior of the specific users and then create the images for the first design that will be sent to them. And then, based on this image, it will be able to optimize also the whole, let's call it, other processes of delivery and creating a product, but let's stick for now to this basic loop. So this is the first idea, that we can create the dedicated product design. We can create, for example, like in the IKEA example, we can create the AI mechanism that will analyze our room, that will place a specific style, will ask us, for example, what style do we prefer? What are our, behaviors? What are our, let's call it, canons of the beauty? And based on it, create the whole design of the room, putting the specific items for a specific store inside and visualize it for us. And this is like the ability of the AI to generate very, let's call it, personalized products, designs, and many other things. But let's get to the second part. So the shopping buddy, and this is one of the projects that we are working right now. So let's imagine, this is the image from the Heijen, by the way. Let's imagine that we are logging to the customer retail web page, or we are going to the shop. And there is this AI avatar, which is our tutor, that can be launched on our mobile phone, it can be launched on the EPOS, it can be launched on the website, and it will guide us throughout the store, give us the advice, what to buy, where to buy, give us the advice, for example, is this something that we need? Give us the information about the product, and be very empathic. So it will act as the human. It will understand our emotion, and based on our body language, it will be able to help us to make a specific choice of a specific product. And this is the project that we are doing right now. This AI avatar, which will be very human-like and will be able to go with us through the whole process of making a decision and buying something. And this is like the second level of the generative AI in the retail area, where we will be handled by AI avatars. And they will help us to find something, to buy something, and to to increase our customer experience. Okay, let's go to the third part. So those are the projects that are right now. Those are the projects that at this moment are implemented for this market. And in the next year or two, they will be very popular. But there is another thing, which in my opinion will be the future in the next 4 to 5 years, when this technology will popularize a little bit more. But let's start from a small example or small test. So the story goes like this. I have a small problem in my house. So there was like a corrosion in the main valve in my garden, and I need to replace it. But I didn't have time, and I also, I'm not good at this stuff. So I try to use the AI to solve this problem. So I take some pictures, and I ask it at this moment, and that was like 3 months ago, so now this technology is advanced much more, that this is the valve in my house, it's broken, you are my shopping assistant. Find me shop where can I buy the same one. Find all information from the picture about this valve, and based on them, find the same one on internet. And it was able to read the specific, let's call it pressure description from the valve and figure out what it needs to buy. So based on this simple image, it gives me the information about the valve. And to be honest, I even didn't know that there are so many different things you need to know before buying one. And based on this description, it has also created simple steps of replacing it and criteria for searching a shop that I can use to buy it. So then I ask it to search the closest one of the place that I'm living in, and it will find the Castorama, find the product, and also give me a link to it. So I would be able to buy it by myself. It cannot buy it at this moment because, it does not have the access to my payments account and everything else. But it's like do the whole process for me and give me the link to the thing that I need to buy to solve my problem. And why I'm thinking that this is the future? Because in the future, the next generation will use the AI assistant in this model. They will not go to the shop. They will ask its assistant to do it. Like in, let's call it the Iron Man movie when Tony Stark was talking with the Jarvis. This is the same situation. And it will be very popular. And last week, or 2 weeks ago from today, there was let's call it the lecture on the Stanford University, where the ex-CEO of the Google says that the world will be dominated by this kind of the agents, AI agents that can do some things that will dominate the market. And the same will be in the e-commerce. We will have the personal AI assistant, AI agents that autonomously, for example, buy something, that are monitoring like the requirements, our shopping list, and then they are searching something for us, etc. But to do this, we, in the e-commerce or retail area, we need to build the whole infrastructure for the AI. We need to build the APIs that will be compatible with the AI. We need to present the data in the way that the AI will understand it. And there will be like a lot of new marketing stuff, because how AI will decide to use our API and our shop to buy this product and not our competition. So there's like the whole new area, landscape, for in the retail business for AI, and building the infrastructure for a customer AI assistant that will do the shopping, that will find the best suited products for us, and will be our gateway to the retail world. So how, for example, this could work in the future? As I said, there will be like a marketplace, in my opinion, with different plugins, shops, marketplaces for the AI. There will be like a discover APIs of the specific shop that will be indexed, and AI will choose which one to use. And there needs to be a lot of integration with auto payments and everything around it. So our AI agents could move in this retail world very dynamically and independent. And this is the future that we need to build to make it happen. And that's all for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Damian, for those insightful remarks. I honestly cannot wait for the shopping buddy, as I absolutely hate shopping. So I want everything to be delivered to me. Moving on, next we have Markus Fredriksson, founder and CEO of Mekster AB, today also presenting on behalf of Hatimeria.
Yeah, my name is Markus Fredriksson, and as she told you, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Mekster, and I'm also the co-founder of VirtusLab. Worked with internet businesses for almost 20 years. Today, I will be discussing the importance of web performance and what web performance will impact you on the organic traffic and your e-commerce revenue. And the digital landscape is rapidly evolving, and understanding these trends will drive crucial growth to your business. Today, global e-commerce is booming, and Sweden is no exception of that. The Swedish e-commerce market is projected to hit about $13.3 billion in 2024. And if we look ahead, 2029, we expect that 92% of all people will be shopping online in Sweden. And potentially that will give us about $33.3 billion in turnover. And this shows the future of commerce is entirely digital, and Sweden is definitely in the forefront of that trend. Knowing your audience preferences is vital, and in Sweden, for example, 44% of the users are using Android versus 56% on iOS. So it's really vital that you optimize your platforms for a seamless user experience when it comes to the customer journey. Core Web Vitals, that's one of the hottest topics in the e-commerce today, and it's really crucial for your website's performance. Core Web Vitals, it measures critical aspects like loading times, interactivity, and visual stability. These metrics directly impact the users and users' experience, and also subsequently your business outcomes. If we look into it more detailed, the Core Web Vitals have three different parts of it, you can say, and it's the LCP, and that measures the loading performance of the website. A fast LCP keeps user engaged; it's no lags in the loading. And the FED it measures interactivity. So ensuring a really responsive experience is really important. So that's what FED measures. And then you have the CLS, and that evaluates the visual stability and preventing unexpected layout shifts, so you have a stable website. And improving those metrics can significantly enhance your user experience. And achieving a pass status for the Core Web Vitals can lead to 15 to 20% more traffic. Enhanced user experience reduces bounce rates and boosts rankings on Google's also. Increasing visibility and potential customer conversions. Every day, without passing the Core Web Vitals, is losing the opportunity to increase your revenue, and of course, it's really important that you work with this metrics in your daily business. Core Web Vitals are critical because they also lead to better retention, they lead to higher profits, more sales, and happier customers. Optimizing these metrics results in smoother use journeys and ultimately drives higher conversion rates. So at Mekster, we faced some problems with our performance on our website a few years ago, or this year actually, in the beginning. And we collaborated with Hatimeria and started to optimize our core web vitals. We used a few tools to measure the progress. We used Run Vision, for instance, and also, of course, Search Console from Google. And with those systems, you can get in live data and see the progress that you made when you try to fix those metrics. And with help of Hatimeria and those programs, we measured to enhance our site's overall performance. And thanks to that, we saw a 24% increase in views, so 24% more views on websites. And we also gained 20% more clicks. We ranked higher on Google because Google likes our web page more now, in average about 4 position, and 4 position in average is a lot of revenue. So if you take those together, we could see that Core Web Vital is just not like a technical thing you do. It's really a business imperative. So you earn money to play some time and focus on this. So that's all I had for today. It was a fast one, but if you have any questions about Core Web Vitals later on, please contact me and I can talk to you more about it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Marcus, for your detailed presentation. Continuing, now I am welcoming our final keynote speaker for this part of our meeting, Jenny Kopper, founder and CEO of Food Collective. Welcome, Jenny.
My name is Jenny, and I have a background in the food and retail industry. I worked there as a buyer and a category manager and a CEO for a company that was acquired by Nestle. And in 2019, I founded Food Collective, and we are a full-service consultancy agency supporting food and beverage companies. That makes us unique on the market is that we are a blend between a top-level strategy and hands-on operation. And today we will talk a little bit about e-commerce and the angle of the food industry. And we see new habits, new opportunities, and with a focus on food. And what we see in the food industry is that after the pandemic, more consumers are buying more food on online stores. And I know we have a short of time, so I jump on this slide. And this one shows that we have an increasing trend from last year until this year. And now we see all food sales in Sweden, 5.7% is bought online. And this trend is increasing. And when we say online, it's not only online like when we are looking into fashion or other products. We see that online shopping can be brick and mortar, they're traditional stores, and they go online. We also have click and collect that also belong to online and e-commerce. We have the delivery apps. We have the digital platforms and also the subscription services. And then we also have what's coming now is this reality stores. It is like shopping in a real store, but you do it at home. And we also see that new channels are coming in for food. And there are a lot of them. We see all the grocery bags. And there are coming new players all the time. And we have the online stores. They are improving their online presence. we have the quick commerce. And here we see that there are coming new players, but we also see that players are disappearing. So it is a really fast environment in the Q-commerce. Then we also have brands are now skipping the step of the wholesaler. So they sell directly to the consumers, and there we see an increasing trend. And if you go to all the trend seminars hosted by the traditional retailers like Axfood, Coop and ICA, they're all talking about this. This is the biggest threat for them in that. And then we have also niche retailers, and that is Matsmart, Snusbolaget. You know, if you want to buy your snuff directly, you go into Snusbolaget, Freshland and Klippkungen. And then why do you go? Why do you buy an online food online? The reasons to buy is often to have a relationship. You like this experience, and also what you the previous speakers have been talking about. It is quick, convenience, and it is easy to compare different sites to get value for money. And then we see to the consumers' preferences for buying directly from the producer. And you see, convenience is the biggest driver. And then it is to have a unique product. This is if you want to have your own blend of muesli, then it is tailor-made for yourself. And some consumers, they are really driven by this extensive information. And often if it is an allergy, if you have any allergy, or if you want to have know the origin of the product. And it is an instant purchase, it's quick, and superior shopping experience, and tailor-made, and also if you have a subscription, then it's easy. And then the reasons for the suppliers to launch online, it is you can gather a lot of data of your consumers. In food, we separate between consumer, shopper, and customer. And in this case, it is a consumer. It is the one using the product. It is a platform for innovation, the power to decide the product proposition, brand building, and it's also a way to expand your market. And when you are in Poland and want to launch an online store in Sweden, there are 6 steps you really need to consider. The first one is that you need a registration and a permit for opening up the online store. And the second step is that you also need to make sure you're compliant with the Swedish regulatory. Even though Poland and Sweden are both members of EU, there are some differences that you need to consider. And then also the logistics and customs. And there are differences between different logistic players, and that will matter on the end price. Even though it is a small difference between some players, it can be a huge difference in the end on the consumer price. So this one I recommend to do a thorough research to make a profitable online business. And then also it is super important also to support your brand and to build the brand and to invest in marketing about this. And then the last one is also the regulatory about the handling of the product. And in Sweden, we have 3 Polish websites or online stores where you can find Polish food. And that one was actually my last slide, and I hope I made it.
Thank you, Jenny. Yes, you're well on time. Thank you so much. We're starting our panel discussion on the topic of change is all around us. What will physical and online stores look like in 5 to 10 years? And here with me we have a esteemed panel. eager to share their perspective on the topic. And let's start by introducing each panelist briefly, their company, and how the company is connected to today's topic. And let's start clockwise.
Hello, hi. So my name is Maciej Michalski. I'm representing Ibery. This is a financial institution owned by Banco Santander, acquired in 2019. So Banco Santander owns around 66% right now. We are focusing on the payments, collection, FX transactions, basically, plus the risk management transactions. But for 3 years, I believe, around 3 years, we joined to Amazon's PSPP program, which is the payment servicing providing program. So we built a team that is currently focusing on the e-commerce, mostly cross-border e-commerce. So what we are doing actually is we are trying to help for the merchants to collect the funds from not only Amazon, but from the major marketplaces from Europe and outside of the Europe, because we are localized in obviously in Europe, in the UK, outside of after the Brexit, in Canada, in Brazil, Australia, New Zealand, and a lot of different countries. So what we are trying to do currently is to collect the funds and to save the margins for the merchants mostly.
Thank you so much. And moving on.
Hi, my name is Sofia. I am on the board of the Swedish-Polish Chamber of Commerce, working with the eminent Jerry. And I have all my life worked as a retail consultant, international one, whereof 8 years were in Poland. So there are my connection to the Swedish-Polish Chamber of Commerce. And working as a consultant for many years, I turned that into purchasing an old Swedish fashion brand that went into bankruptcy 4 years ago and relaunching it online and in physical stores. So now I'm trying to do what I've told all my clients to do for so many years, and it's really difficult.
Right. Mikael Wallstedt is my name, and I represent the company Innonom, which is my company. So I have dedicated myself to help tech companies to level up their sales, to find new ways of selling, to find new ways of generating leads. We're using a lot of customer-centric selling that we heard something about today, to understand the customer journey, how to find the customers and how to turn them into paying customers. And I'm super excited to learn more about the retail. A lot of the use cases I'm working with is really about finding new markets abroad. So it's about going out from Sweden to find new markets abroad, and also about, and finding new ways of breaking into Sweden. That's also my engagement here at the Polish Chamber of Commerce.
Magdalena Rozmiarek, representing two companies today, Klimaterm and Nordic Beauty Bar, two totally different industries. It's cooling and heating, it's Klimaterm, and beauty, natural and organic skincare products, Nordic Beauty Bar. Klimaterm, one of our major customers, it's Elon. It's a white goods chain, the biggest in Sweden. And also some of our customers are purely e-commerce customers. Where it comes to Nordic Beauty Bar, it's e-commerce.
Hello, my name is Fredrik Hildebrand, and I work as a CMO and strategist at a digital agency called Esatto. And we have offices in Stockholm and in Krakow, so dzień dobry. Why am I here? I like to come here because it's really nice to come here. And retail is my passion for fashion. And this year for those of you listening, I'm a white middle-aged man in gray hair and gray beard, and I'm wearing a black jacket and a gray shirt and blue jeans and brown sneakers, all bought secondhand online.
And nice socks.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mateusz Sawarin. I'm managing partner at Sawarin and Partners law firm based in Warsaw and in Bielsko in Silesia in Poland. What we do, we generally work with commercial law, companies law. We support IT, tech, and e-commerce companies. We also produce our own soft, which helps to get along with all the legal requirements you have for every day. And yeah, it's really nice to visit Stockholm for the first time. So I'm happy to be here. Thanks.
Okay, and last, Linda Pimmershofer. And I have worked with digitalization within retail for Microsoft for 10 years. And the last year now, I'm an advisor working close with Yvonne to change retail to a better place. So with a passion for customer experience and sustainability, and of course, digital tools and how we can combine them to find a better future.
Fantastic. Thank you guys for this introduction. And it's great to get to know each of you a bit better. And let's start with some obvious but very important question. And I'm directing it to you, Sofia, as owner and founder of JoyShop. How do you see the role of physical stores evolving in the next coming 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, because I think the pendant is sort of going the other way. It's as Yvonne said, the retail industry has pretty much been silos. You had the physical stores and you had the online stores, and they were not at all interacting or talking to each other at all. And many of the current big retail stores have their original and their history in the physical stores, and then developed an online store, which was pretty much just a catalog where you had your product. So the experience that you were giving in the physical store was not what you experienced when you shopped online. And I think that is what we're going to see in the physical stores moving onwards, that there has to be a coherence between these two different channels, that you have to, whatever you're offering online also have to be reflected in the physical store. And I think we see that strongly everywhere right now, that the physical store is sort of revitalizing again. It's been after COVID and everything, everyone was saying there won't be any physical stores, but that is not true. There is always going to be a need for the physical store, because there's going to be people who want to feel and touch and try all of these things. So the physical store has a strong, strong sense of purpose. And I think it will be developing, but in a different way than maybe before. And I think absolutely not as many physical stores. Looking at my brand, for example, Joy was a strong Swedish fashion brand. They had 54 stores just in Sweden. I mean, 54 stores. That's a huge amount of stores. The cost of that, the people having that is never going to happen again. I mean, a brand like ours probably would need 5 physical stores just as a support to the online stores. So I think there will be physical stores, but there will be fewer of them, and they will have a slightly different purpose and a slightly different setup than before.
Okay, that's very interesting. This is like, I have a small follow-up question to this, because of course I can imagine that from the big retailers, that's no problem to have physical stores and have what you have online also in the physical stores. But in your opinion, how small retailers can still have this competitive edge and in this changing landscape?
Well, I think that the small ones can offer something that the big ones can't. I think the small ones can offer support and service in a different way, because if you want to go shopping today, if you Google black trousers, you get 4,000 pages of black trousers. You know, what am I going to pick? What am I going to choose? I think the brand and the small retail will become a help for me as a client. As we were talking about this personalized shopping, AI shopping person, I think that's a bit of what you have physically today, because someone has already picked the black trousers for you. You know, and that's going to be a support for the client, because it's too much. I can't Google black trousers and spend 4 weeks going through all of the pages. If I walk into a physical store, someone will tell me, you know, here are 2 different black trousers and just help me pick the size. So that's going to be strength among the physical stores and the smaller ones. You don't need to have 5,000 different black trousers. You just have two, the two good ones. And I know if I go to this brand or this physical store, someone's going to already pre-picked it for me. And I think that's going to be the strength of these stores until we have this brilliant shopping IE guy who's going to do it for us.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sophia. I also want all of you engage in those questions. So if you would like to add something, please join the conversation. And also I encourage everyone in the audience to ask questions. So if there anyone to want to ask any questions, just raise your hand and we're gonna start the conversation. Yeah.
I have a question. During this presentation, we had someone who mentioned that about 90% of our society, the year 2029, will actually purchase the goods through internet. What would be your comment on it? Is it realistic, unrealistic? And also with regards what you have mentioned, that physical stores actually are relevant in the future as well.
I think I'm sure that that's a correct number, and I think that's going to be the truth. But I think it's going to be a combination. I don't think you're going to do all your shopping online. I think, for example, if you take fashion, or in my client, we're working with women above 45. If they found a pair of trousers, they're probably going to come and try it in our physical store, pick the size, the color, whatever, and then they can buy the next pair online. So I think that's how it's going to interact. They're going to get a connection with the brand, and they're going to find the product in combination physically and online. So I think it's not going to be pure online. I think all people are going to shop online, but it's also going to be different things. I mean, it's easy to say retail, but I think, of course, everyone probably going to buy easier stuff like pharmaceutical stuff or food maybe online. But fashion, I still think there's going to be a combination. I think you're going to need some sort of help to pick your favorites, the model. But if you, especially men are like that also. I mean, if you find something that fits you, you're going to love to come back and buy that shirt again and again and again. But then you can buy it online because you know that this is the model, this is the size. Someone helped you pick it up, helped it choose it in the store, a physical store, and then you can order it online the next time you buy it. So there's going to be a combination. I think that's why it's so important to have the same experience also in both of the channels.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sophia. And moving to you, Magdalena. With your experience in both HVC and beauty industries, what technological advancements do you believe will most influence consumer behavior in the retail and e-commerce?
Absolutely, collecting the data, it's very important, and this will influence to build a relation with our customers and, of course, our employees. We are talking about, and I'm excited about different tools to get know better our customers to sell. But if we do the right things, the sales will come. So to build a relation, respect our employees, it's the first, and it should be the major point for us to think about people and the world.
Thank you, Magdalena. Anyone would like to ask a question or add something at this point? No? That's no problem. Moving to you, Mikkel. As a founder of a tech-driven company, what innovations you're the most excited about that could transform the retail in the upcoming future?
Yeah, just picking up on what you said, I think it's not about tools, it's not about technology, it's really about the data. It's really about how we use the data. And I think we all know that the AI is really here to revolutionize our world. And we also heard someone talk about it today, that AI, most of the big companies are really almost over-investing in AI. But the question is, can they use it or not? And I also think I would advocate more that this is a way for the smaller companies to really take the scene, because they can be so much quicker. They can adopt this new technology, they can use it and they can really win a lot of landscape. I mean, we are living in a world where everybody wants things now. It's about instant gratifications. If we want a movie, we watch Netflix now. If we want to buy coffee, we just want it now. If we want to buy something online, we just pick up the telephone, and we rather like to have it right now. So with AI technology, there's a lot of things we can do. And I have personally myself recently invested in a company that is harnessing the loyalties. So what we do there is, this is an innovation where you can have loyalty cards, you can have like ICA card and so on when you buy your groceries and so on. But instead we are using another technology. So we're using the open banking API, which we can go into the banking account and really understand what you have bought. So it's another type of simplified loyalty. And this is perfectly fit for smaller SMB companies to really. So I think that there is real good technology that can help the smaller companies. And I think the big companies should watch out.
Fantastic. Thank you, Miko. Moving on, now changing of perspective to you, Mateusz. From a legal standpoint, what challenges and opportunities do you foresee for businesses navigating the evolving e-commerce regulations?
Once again, please, can you ask the questions?
Challenges and opportunities can businesses face in navigating the evolving e-commerce regulatory changes?
Well, for sure, there's many different regulations and situation that you need really good legal help to avoid any traps and any difficulties in the next coming years. So, in my opinion, it just I don't know, looking for someone who for a supplier or legal supplier who will help you in general. So not only about calling your lawyer, for example, if you have any problem, but for a company that will make it easier and will watch your back all the time. Let's say so. Do even a kind of the audit for you even if you don't ask for it. So let's say they review your products, your services, so they can get along and inform you what's important in your situation and what you should look for. So for instance, that's the situation. How you can be prepared for the future, how it's coming, but also general use of the technology for sure. So there's so many different regulations you need to focus on. It's very difficult, and it's going to be only more and more of these situations in the future. But there's also a lot of technology coming on the market, AI technology as well, as it was today discussed a few times, or there were plenty of really important information about this. Let's say that for now we have the big picture of the AI and what the big companies can do about the AI, but I can see already that there are some soft dedicated for other smaller companies, SMBs, for example, that will help you a lot. So to make some example, if you are, I don't know, if you're supposed to follow all the anti-money laundering procedures, and it's difficult, it's very complicated. Take a look if there's a technology which can help. For sure, I know there is, and it will help you a lot with what you have to do in the future.
So, from your experience, what should company be doing now to prepare for those regulatory changes?
So first of all, as I said, it's like find a good legal services supplier. It's not even that you need to pay right now for that, because there's so many legal companies, law firms that offers, for example, legal alerts. They offer even newsletter if you know where you can subscribe, and there's if it's decent knowledge they are sharing. Just do that to be up to date what's going on in the legal, what's happening, to not to be surprised, but by what's coming. So in my opinion, for sure, start with look for someone who can help like this. If you're a small company, as I said, it doesn't need to be paid service. There's a lot of services that you can use, and they are for free. They will get you like the feeling what's happening, and then you can, for example, get for some more specific to pay to the company, for example, a law firm, to get some more specific knowledge. But start with that, and I will start from that point.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mateusz. I think a lot of our guests are going to ask you about the list of those companies that you can find online later on.
The legal alerts newsletters. I subscribe for many of them, of those from like the Big Four, for example, because it always something you can get from some general knowledge. I also subscribe. I personally do for other my competition, which is specialized in let's say like labor law or kind of GDPR or stuff like this. So I have the fresh knowledge. We also provide this kind of legal alert for our consumers or clients. So really, it's a good point to start by looking for this kind of services to know what's happening, what's going on in the nearest future in the all this regulation stuff.
Fantastic, thank you, Mateusz. Any questions from the public at this point? No.
When we talk regulations, for most yes, I think when we talk about regulations, for most of the time we mean GDPR and also anti-money laundering. But do you have any knowledge about new regulations upcoming that we don't know yet?
Well, the biggest one is for sure AI Act, which is coming on, and it will be. We know the text of the act, but it's now we need to learn how to implement it in our services, in our products, because it's only a bill right now, and now we need to know how to specify use it. I mean, from the perspective of provider of a services of a product to fulfill all the obligations it forces us to fulfill, and we will also learn from the other perspective of the state, for example, how they understand the same act as if they understand the same as we do understand. So by auditing, for example, companies. So for sure the AI Act is the biggest one, but there are plenty of smaller. Few months ago, or maybe a year ago, there was a omnibus directive. I think it was EU directive about e-commerce sellers, how you should present your prices, your website information, and other stuff. So it was very important to follow on this regulation for sure. In Poland right now we have like Whistleblowers Act coming into force. I mean, I know it's like a bit later than in the rest of the Europe, but it's still very important. It's coming right now, 3 weeks, I mean, and it's going to be binding in Poland. So it's like the technology and the development of the technology is faster and faster, and the legal makers are always step behind, but they always trying to find something or create something which is like the answer to the technology we already have. So the faster we develop the technology, the faster we will develop the new acts. So it's going to be even more challenging than it is right now. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mateusz. And right now, moving to you, Fredrik. With your expertise in marketing and strategy, how do you expect consumer engagement and marketing strategies evolve in upcoming years?
I feel like a parrot, but since repetition is the knowledge mother, I would say that generative AI will be of very huge importance in the forthcoming years when it comes to marketing as well. We have seen all those shopping assistants. We talk about agents, and AI agents will speak to other AI agents. So it will be a big question how to make your brand or your business promptable, because buying search words on Google, etc., that will be less important. But how do you have a dialogue with your brand or your company? And what if you prompt a big LLM, what will they say about your brand? So that is, I would say that is really important for the forthcoming years. And you hear a lot about, okay, now we have Gen AI, we can make hyper-personalized content. But it's really important and to listen as well, and to have a dialogue and communication with your clients, just not sending what you think is hyper-personalized content due to because of your data that you have collected, but just to listen. Okay, what do you want me to tell you, and how will you perceive my brand in a very personal way? That is also a tricky thing to look into, but that will be really, really important. And in short term, I would say sit in the boat and take care and keep calm, because it's like in Sweden for the time being, it's a perfect shitstorm going on with low, our currency is really low. There are wars in Europe, and so that we all of a sudden have abandoned and we shop for Shine and Temu. No offense, China, but I think that is we can't afford to shop as we are used to in Sweden for now. But I think that will change soon. And I also think that accessibility, that is also a law coming up that make digital accessible shopping experiences is also very important to look into, I'd say.
Fantastic. Thank you, Fredrik. Any questions? Yeah.
Regarding accessibility, the case I've got a bit pickle with is that we kind of focus on e-commerce. Obviously, that's where the money is, that's where technology is, and where we follow for. Although, at least in Poland right now, for example, we've got only 44 point something % of people having at least basic digital competencies. So it's nearly 56% of people not having even basic digital skills. And it's not going to grow significantly in the next 5 to 10 years. Like, the data is there, and we already know it won't grow to 50-something % by 2030. Yet, we still focus, and we're telling that, okay, we're going to switch from physical stores, we're going to go online, we're going to keep just a couple of those. And that might create more money for us, for our shareholders. But what about the social inclusion of all those people that are going to be left behind?
I don't know if I'm the right person to answer that really tough and huge question. Is there anyone else?
It's a really good question. And I would say that that's where the people in the store comes in, and you can empower these people to help in a better way. So technology in retail is not only customer-facing technology. It's so much about the digital empowerment of the people in the store, and really to recognize that these people are the best resources we have still. But we can empower them to help the people in a store and with the tools also actually online. So we have a great examples here in Sweden where you empower the people in a store, and if they haven't so much to do, they can also serve the customer online to really understand how these different channels works together, and understanding back to this customer journey, understanding also how the physical store fits into the customer journey, because it's only a part now. It's not the only, but it can be a good part if we empower the physical store to be a part of that journey. And today it's not, right? It's only like a black box. You go in and no one knows you, and you cannot even find the stuff that you have in your digital basket when you go into the store to test what you want, to do. So it's you can do so much with digital here.
Yeah, and I also like to add that, I mean, even if we talk about e-commerce, but it doesn't have to be just single e-commerce, because you can also add a layer of personality. For example, if you have a customer service with a phone that you can call someone and talk to someone, we have that quite a lot to our older community, that they call in and then we help them place an order, and then they can just finalize the order by payment. So, and then they're shopping online, but they're doing it with the support of a physical person. So I think it doesn't have to be either or. Sometimes we talk about e-commerce and then it's just chat robots that are idiots and you can get nothing out of them. But if you add a person to it, if you make customer service easy accessible by phone, for example, then people start to shop online because they can talk to someone who can guide them through them and tell them what to do. That is at least helping them a little bit, making it easier for them to shop.
I think it's about trust. If we have ambassadors out there that are talking for our brand, and it's easier to have customers and to learn them and to build a relation. And then they will be offline and online.
Actually, I have a question. To the data, what's the minimal digital knowledge?
Okay, I can speak out loud. Basic digital skills means that you can use computer to perform basic tasks, like sending an email, using a website to do.
So it's like 44% something.
Yeah. The average of EU is
44%.
Yeah, 44 in Poland.
Wow, that's surprising to me.
58, I believe, is the EU average.
Okay, so like out of us, like almost half of the people do not know how to use web, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, by the way, it's the Digital Decade report of 2024, if anything, EU.
Thank you. Are there more questions?
Yeah, sorry, I came in a little bit late, so I'm humbled to that fact. I'm just curious. It is really a little bit, I think, close to the previous question. I mean, you guys are leaders in the industry, and I'm a little bit curious about the background, sort of the tech solutions that you would use if it's part of the evaluation process. Like sort of what part of the world your solutions would come from. I would say like an AI solution, if it would be important that it comes from a closer region, or if it doesn't matter. I mean, of course, you maybe use Shopify or whatever for e-commerce or affiliate marketing solutions. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good question. And I think that's a question I get a lot when I'm coaching different tech companies, and I see that it doesn't really matter where the solution comes from. I think it's more a matter of what you would like to achieve with your solution, because there's so many ways of solving a problem. I mean, you can build it yourself, you can outsource it, you can have a SaaS product, you can have a on-premise data solution. So it's more a matter of what you would like to achieve. And today, I think we're living in a global world, and as definitely from Swedish perspective, I think Swedish customers are really keen to working with the best technology and partners they can find, regardless of where they are. And myself, I have sold to all of the world. I did sell software solutions even to New Zealand without going there. So it's definitely possible.
Yeah. For example, my company buying some soft, so IT is like in the position of the customer. So I know for like companies like law firms, but many others, it's very important that the data security. So for example, if you're choosing the soft, the technology you're buying, you're focusing because some way you have to on EU produced technology, for example, because of the GDPR, of the data security reasons. So I don't know if it's answer to your question, but I know there's a sort of the companies like ours that it's very important to focus on technology or soft which provides solutions to data security. It's very important.
I could also, yeah. Okay. Thank you for your answer. I could just elaborate a little bit on the question. I am a retailer. I run a swimwear brand, which is half Swedish, half Polish. So just as an example, we try to use tech that would lift both nations tech-wise to try to minimize the gap and try to focus on smaller players to get smaller companies in each country a chance to work more on a global market. So that would be, an elaboration on.
But I think I was looking at tech right now. I think that the challenge that you have, at least from our perspective, is that previously years you bought something and you said this is for life. This is a tech solution that we're going to have forever. Now it's more like, okay, whatever our company needs today. If you're a startup, you can't invest much, then you'd rather have something you pay on a turnover basis or whatever, and something that you can step out of. And you don't want to commit to something that's going to, tie your hands, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow in this shitstorm that we're living in. So I think that's one of at least the thing that we are working really relevant, is that whatever we choose is something that you can, pretty much over a day just walk out of and do something else. And I think that's the big change that we have in technology compared to just 10 years ago, when you did something and when you bought a e-commerce platform and you invested in it, was supposed to last forever. Now it's like, okay, this is going to take us another 6 months and then we'll see what happens. So I think that is probably, at least from my perspective, the biggest change when it comes to technology.
Coming from a platform, so I would say I have worked with bigger companies. So and then of course you need to go standard but when you are smaller, it's really about learning, and don't take it to too big of a dress on you, so it's too costly, but still look at the scalable solution, because you don't want to change every time, so you want to grow with them. So to look at the clouds and the different ones and choose vendors that is in the same cloud, so you can connect them, because we are talking about this omni customer journey. So you don't want to end up with different siloed tech solutions. You need to have the data needs to flow. So really to understand the big picture, I always talk about picking the puzzle pieces and put them together. And maybe in the top of it, you can do some unique interface for your brand, but it should be puzzle pieces that you can switch whatever you want. So look at the big picture and pull the puzzle together.
And I would say for a couple of years ago, there was this thing. If you were planning to go into AI, you had to build it yourself. But now you don't need to be OpenAI or Google or Meta. You can just the question buy or build has arisen last year. So I would say many small and medium companies could just buy a service and then wrap it yourself to make it your own. But Another thing that we look into is, okay, we recommend using it a cloud service in Europe and preferably something that is quite climate neutral with local data centers, perhaps wind powered, etc. So that's issues that we look into when we advise our clients what platform and etc. what solution to choose from.
Thank you so much. I love how this discussion is flowing, but we have time frames that we need to be in. So I would move to Maciej right now. Maciej, considering your role in cross-border e-commerce, how companies can effectively manage cross-border payments and collections?
That's the tough one, to be honest, because everyone thinks that you're just opening an account and it's easy to collect the funds, right? You're selling abroad, like to, let's say, Germany, Poland, wherever. You're opening an account in, for example, here in Sweden, in euro, in PLN, in whatever currency. But it doesn't work that way, to be honest. Most of the marketplaces, and this is a pro tip. Most of the marketplaces, they're charging the merchants for the transactions, FX transactions. So what, for example, Amazon or eBay or other marketplaces, like there is no like one way only, but most of marketplaces, what they are doing is they are recognizing your IBAN as a starting point from the country that it's assigned to. So for example, if you're opening an account in Sweden in euro, which is doable, the IBAN will start with S for Sweden, in Poland with PL for Poland, obviously. So what Amazon does, what other marketplaces they are doing, they are making the FX exchange because they are recognizing not the currency, but the country. So the inflowing funds, when they are coming into your bank account, they are going to be transferred once again and converted once again from euro to PLN, from PLN to euro. So you're losing around, well, sometimes up to 10%, which is a lot. So I think that the maximum that I have seen was like 15%, which was very, very big amount. But on average, we can see that it is around 4%. So 4% of the margin is quite a lot, I think. So what you can do, because most of the marketplaces, they just, what they want to recognize is the, as I mentioned, the starting of the IBAN. So if you are opening an account in Eurozone, in Germany, Belgium, France, wherever, it doesn't matter actually, it will help you because you will not lose those 4% or 5% or whatever it's going to be. And something that is might be really easy, opening an account in Poland or Sweden or wherever, just to collect the funds from marketplaces might be a little bit misleading. So what we are currently trying to do in Poland, we're trying to educate our merchants to not do it, to save the money, to open local accounts. And this is what we are providing actually, because from Ibery, if you're registering into Ibery, you can open an account in several countries in different currencies, in euro, in PLN, in dollar or whatever. And those accounts are going to be local. So you can collect locally from the marketplaces. In terms of the payments, it's a little bit different because this is, let's say that the solutions are some kind of the one-stop shop. So you're making the collections, you're making the payments in various of the currencies, because let's be honest, most of the payments that we are making those payments to China. So like most of them are in CNY, which is the Chinese renminbi. And yeah, if you want to effectively collect the funds and make the payments, because there's plenty of banks, financial institutions that can do everything, is to find some institution that can make the payments, collections, FX risk management, some kind of the financing, which is crucial in terms of the e-commerce, especially for the small ones that are growing rapidly, because we know that e-commerce from our perspective and our data, we are seeing our clients, they are growing like 200, 300, 400% per year, which is amazing. And you cannot see that kind of the growth for, let's say, business as usual, for the classic businesses. So they need a working capital. And it's always the best to find the place, the institution, the fintechs are the best, I think, at the moment in terms of the e-commerce, because they are very close to the e-commerce market, very close to AI and so on, because most of the things that we are doing, the AML mentioned previously, the some kind of, let's say, credit subscription or whatever, this is done by AI, mostly. Like, there's always touch of human, obviously, because you cannot give the financing, the credit line for the company based only on the AI. There is always a touch of a person, but most of the cases are made by the artificial intelligence, which is really, really good. Yeah, so I think that's it.
Thank you, Maciej. That was the most informative. I hope everybody making notes. And now,
one thing I wanted to add, because the question was also how do we see in 5 to 10 years the e-commerce market? I think that this is my private opinion, but based on the data, like 26% of the re-commerce is growing in Poland, something that Michael was mentioned previously. So buying from second hands on the e-commerce platforms, it is future, I think.
thank you so much. Do we have any questions from the public at this point? Okay, moving on finally to you, Linda. So with your focus on sustainability, what are the biggest challenges retailers face with aligning technology and sustainability goals?
It's a big question. And I tend to have like an hour on me when I'm answering this. But
our last speakers.
yeah, starting now. But you were on this re-commerce space, so we have started. No, I would say it's really first to recognize what sustainability is, because today we are all over the place when we are talking about sustainability and retail. And the re-commerce is one, and the production is in the other hand. So really to understand that this is not about compliance only. It's not about transparency only. It's about doing more with less. It's efficiency and waste nothing, but also to nudge or help customers to be more sustainable, because sustainability is also a customer experience, and we tend to forget it when we talk about it. We can earn money. It's not only a cost, but so that is like recognizing the value and where it is. And the second part, the biggest part with the big problem, and it's the same problem actually that we have with the Omnichannel. It's about the silos. So we need to utilize the data we have, and understanding the data we don't have, and add that data. So really to understand that it's a lot of data out there. We can buy data, and we can, but the problem is to act on it, because today we have a linear process that is stiff and blind, and we need to be able to activate the different steps in that process from the data, to be customer centric, to do less. To do the right thing, to have the right assortment in the right stores with a local feeling. So the assortment need to be relevant. So the customers really want to shop there. And then we will lose less of the overproduction phase. and we need to nudge the customer to take the right decision. And it is a hard play because we need to rebuild the processes to act on the data and inform the customer without being greenwashed. So it's a big task, but it's about the data, going back to the data. And of course, we need to do the right thing with the material and everything as well. But I would say today we have a fashion industry, at least, that has planned overproduction in like 40%, I think the global number is. To just erase that, we will be so much more sustainable. So I would say to really activate the data is key, but today we are not concentrate on that.
Thank you so much, Linda.
It's a big question.
I think, Linda, you're an expert. But do we have any questions from the public? So, looking at the time, we are very much on a schedule, and that was our last question for the panel session. So, give a round of applause to our panelists. Thank you so much to all the speakers, to all the panelists, and everybody in the audience. We heard wealth of knowledge and insights on the future of retail and e-commerce. I hope those discussions were as insightful for you as they have been for me. To just sum up, we explored the importance of omnichannel strategies, the impact of AI and data analytics, and the crucial role of web performance. During our panel session, we highlighted innovation, sustainability, legal challenges, and the international strategies as a main focus area for the future. I hope you enjoyed today. I welcome you to our networking time. Thank you once again for your participation and have a great day.
So thank you once again.